Mike, so you've been looking at the results, which I have to say I really look forward to your results round up every week. So
yeah, quite intriguing this week. National one, well, Coventry recorded their 12th consecutive win, and they beat Plymouth 29-14. They've now opened an 11-point gap over the chasing sides such as Ant Hill, Plymouth, etc. I know it's very early to say, and I keep on saying this, but really, is anybody going to catch them? I don't know.
You want to say it? Go on. You can say that they're going to be.
My first tip for the 2017 and 18 season is that Coventry will go into the Championship. There we are. I've said it.
When they've got an 11-point lead.
I've been timed out to a second place there now, jumping up down in the air, saying, right, we're onwards.
I actually had Plymouth down to... I predicted them
That's
to
right.
go up.
Yeah,
I really did. I thought they were going to do it, but they're having a bit of an in-and-out season, to say the least.
Yeah. I think National 2 to North, that's again intriguing. I always call this time of the year Nervous November, because it's sides that have been doing well. They perhaps hit a bit of a barrier. Sometimes it's psychological, worrying about games, worrying about the results rather than concentrating on the performance. And there are always some people have started well, or some clubs have started well and then have problems, and one of them is Stourbridge. I mean, a few weeks ago, unbeaten, 9 wins on the trot, and then all of a sudden, 2 defeats, a draw against South Leicester on Saturday, and speaking to the guys out there, it's basically they've just been unlucky with an injury list, which grows and grows and grows. And it's one of the problems I think we have in National League Rugby, is that, well, we've even seen it in the Premiership, your squad is never big enough. And it is very difficult to manage. And they unfortunately have stumbled because of problems with their injury list. The consequence of their predicament is that Hinckley, who kept on chasing, they've now moved to the top. They beat Luctonians at the weekend, 52-12, a good win for them. But it's quite interesting. There's only 2 points that cover the side that are first, i.e. Hinckley now, to the side that are fifth. So you've got Tynedale, Sedgley Park and Sale, and only 2 points for that all to change round again. So to me, that is going to, I think, go down to the wire.
A very competitive league.
Yeah, very much so. National 2 South, well, I think there's more of a pattern developing there. Chinnor went down to Redruth, came away with a bonus point, 20 points to 13 win over Redruth. It ensures they retain their unbeaten record, and they stay 2 points ahead of Cinderford, who also won at Wimbledon by 31 points to 23. Now, one of the sides that have stuttered, Taunton, they went through 2 defeats, again unbeaten, and then they lost 2 consecutive matches. Redigensians Rams visited them on Saturday. I went down to watch. I was quietly confident we'd get a result, but it wasn't to be, actually. I mean, Taunton looked very good. They were well worth the win, and it was a fiercely competitive game and a very entertaining game. But so it's Cinderford at the top, Chinnor at the top, followed by Cinderford, and then Taunton and Redigensians in 4th place. In the regional leagues, the London League just changes every week. I mean, it's there's no rhyme or reason to it. Hertford now, they take their leadership of London and the South East. They've first time at the top. They beat Southend, whilst Guernsey also won. They beat Barnes away, so they moved back into 2nd, and then Barnes go down to 4th, and Tring, who also lost, they go down to 3rd. But that just seems to rotate every week again. It's interesting stuff. In the Midlands, well, the side there still unbeaten, 100% record, and scored 100 points on Saturday. Birmingham Solihull, where you visited.
It's the Rugby Nats luck, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, which we'll talk about later, actually, because there's clear evidence of that. They're unbeaten, 11 from 11, and they've got a 10-point lead now over Newport, who are in 2nd place. And again, you're beginning to think, are they going to do it? But early doors.
10-point lead. Do you want to predict them?
No,
to go up?
not yet. The North. We had two unbeaten sides play each other: Preston Grasshoppers and Lim on Saturday, and Preston remain unbeaten. They beat Lim 19-13, and Lim go into second place, whilst Preston still remain top. In the southwest, there have been a few hiccups there. Dings have lost a couple of games, but got back to the winning ways. They beat Newbury 42-10, so they now go top of the Southwest Regional League. But a big surprise, but it's local derbies, about which I think is an intriguing aspect of West Country rugby. I mean, Newton Abbott, who have been, nailed on promotion candidates, they went down to Brixham, who were mid-league, and they lost. And so they in second place. It was quite close. It was 33-20.
Okay.
So they, Brixham claim the Devon bragging rights in that game, and I thought I'd take a snapshot, the games of the clubs that you've actually followed.
Right,
now, if we look at Birmingham, as we see, they're unbeaten, right? So there is no kiss of death, because you followed Grasshoppers. They seem to be a very progressive club, especially some of the information we gain about how they're trying to keep players in the game. Well, they topped London 3 Northwest.
Northwest, yeah.
So they won again on Saturday. Morpeth have been knocking on the door. They topped North East 1. They're 1 point ahead of Penrith. And Old Pats in Southwest 1 East, they beat Marlow on Saturday, and they're unbeaten and lead that league. So you are obviously having a
like
beneficial
Rugby Nats
effect.
luck.
Yeah, I know. People now will be queuing up to invite you to visit their clubs and improve their league positions.
Just on that, Old Pats, I think that, what are they, 10 from 10?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, to lose a game. I mean, I think it's a long time coming, isn't it, for them? I think they're going to go back up to the Premier Southwest Premier Division. And Morpeth, I'm actually quite surprised, because when we went there early October, I think they were sort of 5th or 4th, and there was no sort of real indication of we want to go up. They said, if it happens, it happens, and they're doing well.
Doing very well indeed. I think sometimes probably it's better to rather than blowing your own trumpet all the time, and it's have a measured approach. What will be will be. But Old Pats used to be National League 2, and then went into a little bit of a decline, but seem to be on their way back. It's a difficult place to go and play there. It's
Everest Road.
It's more or less a guaranteed home win, and not being in any way disrespectful for the ground conditions or the facilities.
What games have we got coming up?
Well, the ones I think to look for in the National League 2 North, Stourbridge are playing Hinckley, so 1 against 2, but it's at Stourbridge. In National 2 South, Chinner are playing Taunton. Now, I think that'd be quite an intriguing game, because Taunton did impress me. I thought they were a powerful side. If they got everyone back to full fitness, if they hadn't lost any players from Saturday's game, then I think that will be a very, very close game. Worth watching, that one. Tring against Barnes, they're both in the top 4. Tring is certainly an ambitious club as Barnes. They're National League last year, so that should be a good one. And Birmingham now take on Peterborough Lions, so that's 1 against 2. And finally, I must mention a Berkshire derby, and derbies are always difficult to predict. Bracknell take on Maidenhead.
Oh, that's this weekend.
That is, and they wouldn't have played each other for a number of years actually in a league competition. And I do think that form goes out the window. Certainly Maidenhead have the better form at the moment, but Bracknell are going to be at home. There's a lot to play for.
Yeah, it's a tough place to go to as well, Lily Hill Park, so that'll be an interesting result. Another game that I'm looking forward to seeing the result of is Reading Enzians Rams, Bury St Edmunds. Was that 4th versus 5th? And we were at Bury St Edmunds at the weekend, and they're a very good side. And I don't know, there's something, I feel like it hasn't clicked yet for them, but I feel like it will, and they're a very, very strong side. I think they've got a lot of potential, so I'm looking forward to seeing that result.
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a very, very good game, and I think that we've suffered a couple of injuries. I'm not getting the excuses in first from last Saturday, incidentally. But we have had a good run.
Okay.
A little bit of a hiccup on Saturday. We are playing at home, but as you say, looking at some of their results, I think the only thing at times they can be a little in and out. There isn't that consistency, so that'll be interesting to watch for. But look, wherever you are, whatever team you support, get out, get behind them this weekend, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.